Hey guys, it's Michael Valentino from Crusader Caravans in Campbellfield, Victoria. Today it's a bit of a different one in our handover tutorial video, something we don't get to cover in our normal day-to-day handovers. This is in the hopes that we're going to give a bit of education to people. First one we're going to be showing you is a bit of a handover on using the basics of a multimeter. Rather than the old-fashioned test light, a multimeter allows you to manage voltage. It allows you to be able to see what's sort of happening in your batteries. It allows you to check fuses, especially for sort of the poor eyesighted customers out there. We're going to show you two different versions. So this is it's a pretty basic El Cheapo $25, find it at your local Repco super cheap hardware. I don't even think Bunnings sells something to this effect, but pretty much what it does, guys, is you pop a 9-volt battery in the back here. We've got our positive negative leads, common black, back in there, red, great. What we're going to do to measure is you click it over to 20. So with 20 measured, what we're going to be able to do, essentially, with this in sight, is we're going to be able to get our red, put into red, and put into black, okay? And we're seeing 13.08, right? So where would this become of instance? So for instance, if a customer would pick up the phone and say, hey Michael, my battery is dead. And I say, well, how is your battery dead? They go, well, nothing's happening in the caravan. I say, okay, well, it could be a variety of things. It could be that a cable's fallen off the back of something because you've done a bit of fiddling when you've packed. It could be that the battery itself, because they're lithium, require a jump start, which will be a part of the second video we have here. Now, one thing to really, we can only work with the information we have. So FaceTime's great, WhatsApp's great, but sometimes just literally having a conversation with someone and them saying, hey, it's 13.05, I could say, brilliant. I know exactly what we're doing here. So with a multimeter, yep, bang, bang, right? Now, if you swap this and it goes black to red and red to black, there's really not a lot that can happen. You can literally touch these terminals, nothing bad's going to happen to you as far as the 12 volts concerned. Inverter installs are a little bit more of a conversation just because quite a number of amps coming out. You can measure 240 sources. We're not going to show you how to do that. It's more of a professional Sparky sort of thing. Now, to make power work, we obviously need positive and negative, right? So just over here, we've got battery output fuses. Now, this runs to a block, so that's a main positive just there. This is also positive tabs that we're placing wires off of. So this whole thing's got power here. If we place one of the negatives on our negative of the battery, just because it's within reach, and we go to our feed here, we've got nothing. If we go to our feed here, we then have 13.02. So it's reflective power. So essentially, if a customer were to ring you and say, hey, listen, I haven't got power to my battery, first and foremost, we're checking this. At the back of the vehicle, if you know which one's common, center pin, common, and then we go to a power source, it allows you to check. So I would 100% be picking up a multimeter. You'd be surprised as to how often you're going to use this and how great it is, especially for managing voltage and stuff coming out of a portable solar panel. Now, my one's a little bit more souped up. It's a little bit more fun. My one is has built-in sound. So essentially what it is if we touch these two together, you get a nice little beep that you can hear from my speaker. What this does is, so a fuse has you got measure points, right? So that's your fuse. So if you go touch here, that's just confirming to me that the fuse is intact and working. If the fuse had in fact blown, no sound would be there because it's essentially saying that these two are connected. That's what we're measuring. So it allows you to check for a short, right? That's where we'd be checking for. But that's not what the sort of skill level we're asking for. We're just asking for you to be able to check these. So for instance, if you there and Daryl's here and he's trying to check where his batteries are at, if he was to hit pin here and pin here, the two bits of metal, we get a beep. That one's okay. Move on to the next one. Bang, bang, works. Next one, next one. Now I'm going to touch to the side. If that was on the metal, you'd be saying, well, clearly my fuse is broken. So you know that that is a broken fuse without having to then go to the lengths of ripping each fuse out and try and examine it like it's a bit of an ice block. Like it's very, very hard to be able to see. So this allows for a quick test method. On the back of the fridge, you have positive, negative, red and black, bang. Nothing's really going to go bad as far as just checking those things out. And it allows for an easier troubleshoot. In our Trek 3 systems, in the solar department, where the cables plug into the top of it, if you were to unplug those cables, turn your multimeter to 20, right, you could measure up to 20 volt. If it's exceeding 20 volts, so it's 24 volts coming in from the panels, kick it to 200, right? Because then you're able to measure up to that voltage. It just means the decimal place moves, that's all. Like, yeah, 13.0, great, perfect. It means that we're tracking those things. It allows you to check for fuses. It allows you to be able to measure the voltage coming out of an Anderson plug on the back of the vehicle or something like that. So it saves you having to go through an extra effort. If you know what you're looking for, it makes it substantially easier to communicate with us, our service department, and all the other dealers around Victoria. Stay tuned, we're going to show you how to jumpstart your battery. Right, so it's time to jumpstart a battery. When would that happen? So for instance, let's say you had your multimeter and you tested your positive and negative terminals and they were 0. We're not talking 5 volt, we're talking 0. So the difference between AGM and lithium is once lithium goes below, I believe, like 10 volt, it will turn off. It has protection modes in it. It allows them to be a lot safer battery and doesn't emit, obviously, and overheat and stuff like that, because all these sort of countermeasures will activate to stop things like that occurring, right? So the only dilemma is the little computer inside of the lithium battery, and we know it's lithium because she's light as, when that dies, the only way to get it alive is you literally have to give it CPR. You have to give it a hit. You have to get a jump start. And we say the word jump start, people go, oh, battery charger. No, not battery charger, because I didn't say battery charger. I said jump start, jump starter. I'm not asking you to get alligator clips and feed them through the window. That's ridiculous. We don't want to impact any cars or anything like that. We want to get a jump starter. Now, you got to expect, I'm a caravan repairer, caravan service technician, love caravans. This is like $400 worth of a piece of equipment. You don't have to buy that. We're talking a jump starter. So it's a lithium King's jump starter. It looks like a little, it's no bigger than really a phone. It's quite a unique thing with alligator clips. Jump starts cars. Press a button, it goes, and pumps power in there. On all of the jump starters, you don't just buy it, throw away the box, go, yeah, ripper, got the jump starter. That's not what we're doing here. We're getting it, we're undoing it. We're reading the book. I know it's hard, but we're gonna read the book and go, how does this jump starter work, right? Because a lot of jump starters need to sense the battery to activate. It can't sense the battery if it's 0 volt. So often there's a button on this, like we have, called override or boost or power mode or whatever it may be, and it's gonna send voltage directly to the caravan battery, overruling its safety measures, right? Because theoretically, I mean, you could grab onto it, hold it and go, yeah, boost me. But that's not what we're doing, right? We need to actually be smart about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our little alligator clips. And we're going to directly attach it to this side of the battery, so the main terminal. And we're going to pump it to the main terminal here. And we are hooked on, right? Jump start status says I'm ready to roll. Yeah, battery status, we're good. Override. Bang, it'll click on. And then all of a sudden, your van will go beep and turn on. Everything will start turning on, kicking over. This here has such a large power ability of it, it will start actually charging the caravan battery. Once we've completed our job, we turn it off and we put it back. Now, you need to make sure that your jump start is fired. So often and not, my suggestion to you is you get to a powered site or at home or wherever you happen to be. You plug the power into the van. You make sure that there's power coming into the van. How do we do that? Great question. Check your aircon. If your aircon has power, everything works. If it runs through an inverter, check your charger. Check your fridge that it's switching to power. Check your hot water service that power is happening at the plug. Press your RCD on the outside to make sure that it clicks down, which means you have power coming into the caravan. So we test that first and foremost. Then we would then get alligator clips. 1, 2 on the negative. We look for the boost button. Press boost, it goes poof, pumps a heap of power in there. If you have an inverter, turn your inverter off. So inverter circuit breaker off, inverter off. You make sure it's off, you make sure that's off. Why would you do that? Because as soon as you jump start that battery, the inverter's gonna go, heck yeah, it got power. It's gonna start pumping power in. We don't want that. We want it to back off so the charger can just pump a little bit of power into this battery and get it started, right? So positive, negative, inverter off. If you don't have an inverter, don't stress, don't make it complicated. Bang, bang, fire, boost, power, charge. Let it charge up. It goes out of protection mode. You're going to have power. It's going to start going. Then you got to work out, why did it turn off? What did we leave on? What's not being seen on the battery management system? When it's completely full, you can work backwards from there. But first and foremost, you get to a caravan park, you get the generator out, you get DC charger firing, you make sure your battery's charged up, you make sure everything's in order, and then you can work backwards from there. Positive, negative, boost, jump, work backwards from there. What if I have 2 batteries, Michael? Look, they're in parallel. Ideally, it'd be great to get 1 positive here, 1 negative there, jump start. If you can't reach it or it's short leads, don't stress. Positive, negative, jump start, bang. That's what we want. We want to pump that power, that battery full of power, and then work backwards from there and figure out what's going on. But if you get your multimeter out, this is 0, you can work backwards from there, and we know exactly what's going on, and our service team can give you a hand. We hope you enjoyed this sort of quirky handover tutorial video. Check out the others below. If you have any questions, queries, head to the website www.crusadercaravansmelbourne.com.au. Alternatively, like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.